dare you to work on yourself for 6 months. I dare you to shut out the world. I dare you to shut out all the distractions. I dare you to give up everything that is keeping you from your dream.
Where did I get the idea to challenge myself for 6 months? Well, let me tell you a story. So in 2017, I went to university and I met a lot of new people because university was really a new start for me. Many of my classmates from secondary school went to other cities to study, and through opportunities I met a lot of people. And a lot of these guys I met were people who tried to think about how to be a better version of themselves, how to become a better version of themselves. They thought about how to live life intentionally, how to augment their skills, how to, you name it, just do something that could make an impact or that could change the way they see things or change the way they are. Soon enough, because I was surrounded by these kinds of people with this mindset, I joined them in this mindset. And I started gaining an interest in how this would look like in my life. The following 2 years, I found these motivational videos on YouTube, started following highly motivational people who are quite well known in the self-development industry, I guess. I started learning, I started applying some things, but I soon realized that most things that I tried to implement in my life didn't last for long. I tried things out, but they didn't stay in the long term. I eventually realized this was because of 2 reasons. First of all, I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have a why. I just thought that this was a good way of living, but it's like I didn't have a foundation. It's like this famous story in which a guy builds a house on sand and the storm comes and the house falls down because there's no foundation, compared to the guy who built his house on the rock and it had a strong foundation. So the wind came, the storm came, the rain came, and it pushed against the house, but the house stood firm because it had that great foundation. And that was what I needed, a foundation, a why, a purpose. Second thing, because I never had a plan. I never took the time to actually make a plan, to actually sit down and think, what are the different steps I need to do to get to my goal, to get to my dream, to get to the person I want to be? And how am I going to keep myself accountable to actually do these things day in, day out? So, in 2019, I came past this motivational speech that you heard in the beginning of this video, and I said, let's try it out. And as I said, didn't have a purpose, didn't have a plan. So what happened? It lasted about a month. After a month, I was just back to my old lifestyle, just the same as it was before. Nothing really happened, nothing really changed. Then now, 2021, again 2 years later, I'm ready to try it out again. But this time, I do have a plan. The plan for these following 6 months is subdivided into several categories. I've made 4 domains which I want to work on for me personally, which are personally important to me. The first one is health. With health, I have subdivided them into 3 different subcategories, divided in physical health, in which I want to look at working out, nutrition, taking care of my body. Mental health, especially in these days, mental health has become a very important aspect of life, and people are finally realizing how important it is. So mental health, and lastly spiritual health, because I believe this part is also very important. The second category I have called wealth. What do I mean with wealth? I mean the business aspects slash financial side of life. As in, I'm still a student at the moment. I don't make any money. I don't have any income. I don't work. I only work in the months of July and August. And so I want to find a way to make some money. I have no idea where, I have no idea how, but we'll figure that out. The third category is relationships. I think it's good to be ambitious and to strive for success and to accomplish your dreams and your goals and stuff like that. But we humans are social beings. We need friends, we need people around us to support us, to motivate us, to give us a bigger realization of who we are and who they are and stuff like that. So I want to think about how I can be more intentional into my relationships to my family and to my friends, my close friends. And then lastly, the fourth category I have called character development. I think it's always good to sit down and think about who you want to be as a person, and these things are built on values. So you have to think about what values do you have. If you have to think about yourself like 20 years from now, what kind of person do you want to be? What characteristics does this person have? Who is the ideal person to you without going into toxic perfectionism? And I've realized that some of the values I have and some of the characteristics that I value, that I don't have them, or that I don't have them fully, or not as much as I want them to have. So these are things I believe I have to work on. I have to work on, I want to work on. So these are the four categories that I've decided to work on. The idea is that for the following 6 months, I hope to give you some updates on how the things are going. If you want to see more behind the scenes and some more daily live kind of stuff, you can follow me on Instagram, link down below. And I'm very excited to know if you maybe want to try something out in the next following 6 months. Be sure to let me know in the comments. So yeah, I'm excited to see who I will be and where we will be in the end of February, because at the time when this video goes up, I will already have started. I will officially start at the 1st of September, and the challenge being 6 months means that I'll be ending this challenge at the end of February or beginning of March. When I looked up some things on Google about this 6-month challenge, I came by this quote that I kind of like, so I want to end the video with this quote. 6 months of hardcore focus and alignment can put you 5 years ahead in life. Don't underestimate the power of consistency and desire. You have what it takes to become the best that you can be. Don't ever doubt yourself. Harness your power. Exceed your expectations.